Hello ladies and gentlemen, Captain Shaq here, and welcome to Warhammer Chaosbane. The Warhammer franchise has been getting a lot of love in recent years. It's a far cry better than past years, that's for sure. With the Warhammer Total War series bringing an entirely new world to life in the perspective of a leader of each faction, to filling the boots in the ground and slaughtering your way through the rat-infested streets of a fallen Imperial city in Vermintide, it's been a good run. Now, if only we could say the same thing for the 40k franchise. Oh boy. Anyways, Warhammer Chaosbane looks to continue this solid streak of titles, this time bringing Warhammer Fantasy Universe into the realm of action RPG, the likes of which Diablo 3 and Path of Exile already lay claim to as High King. The title's being developed by Eco Software, whose past titles include Rugby 18, the How to Survive series, and what the fuck are all these games? I've never played a single one. Okay, but hey, maybe this title will be the French developer's big break standout hit. So we can hope. Let's get into what the game is, or at least plans to be. So the story is set 200 years before the reign of Karl Franz. You play as one of 4 characters that are veterans of the Great War against Chaos. This war started with the bloodthirsty tribes of the North united in an attempt to invade the Empire of Man. The game's planned to start at the end of the war as you're making your way home from the battlefield when some new threat arrives to put the old world in danger once again. The developers have been working with Mike Lee, a well-known Black Library author, to hopefully help match the tone of this grim, dark fantasy universe. Players will have to choose between 4 classes at the start: an Imperial soldier that acts as the tank and has high melee skills, a Wood Elf Waywatcher that does range DPS, most likely with a bow, and can deal with traps and damage over time, a Dwarf Slayer, who's all about that close combat DPS, and a High Elf Mage, which is your ranged, high damage class. This sounds oddly familiar. Each one of these characters has their own gameplay styles, gear, equipment, and skill sets, about 45 per character is what they're saying so far, and a unique ability that can only be used as the right joystick or the spacebar on the keyboard. With the soldier, you can pop up your shield and block attacks. With the mage, you can steer the spells that you cast in the direction you want them to go. In the demo video that we've seen so far, there are some pretty cool looking mechanics in there. One thing that does stand out is that the 2 characters are actually working together. The warrior holding back the waves of chaos demons, while the mage rains hellfire down from above or summons a giant fire tornado that he actually actively guides through the battlefield, burning to death all of the demon-y creatures that are in front of him. Of course, this is a dungeon loot crawl, so you'll be going through dungeons and finding loot gear and equipment. The game's being developed for console and PC, but interestingly enough, you can play couch co-op all on one screen on the PC version as well. When you open up your inventory, if you're playing on a single screen for co-op, it'll actually open your inventory on a smaller section of the screen, allowing your character to auto-pathfind and follow the group as they go. As new players join into the battlefield, the enemies will actually get harder, much like old Diablo games or any other of these dungeon crawlers that we've played in the past. You can play up to 4 players either locally or online, and it looks like we'll be taking the fight to the Chaos Gods, but we'll see what happens. Overall, it looks like a fairly standard dungeon crawler, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. The universe is perfect for running around, killing chaos demons, and all kinds of baddies while collecting loot and gear from the Warhammer universe. The lore is there, the world is there, the characters are there that could be very interesting to play. Now the question is, can the developer put them in a package that'll actually be fun and not seem completely derivative of past titles that we've already played? I'm looking at you, Diablo. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Do you think this game's gonna rock your socks, or is it gonna be just another Warhammer title that you throw in the bin and never think about again? Sort of like that Warhammer 40k game that tried to do this exact same thing and was largely forgotten about 2 weeks later. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. My name's Captain Shaq. If you enjoyed the video, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel for more sci-fi gaming and modding goodness, and as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Later, everybody.